Tonight, China escalates its tariff war with Canada over canola. WestJet says personal data was stolen in a recent cyber attack. And Saskatchewan gets on the medal podium at the Canada Summer Games.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Tuesday, August 12th, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. I'm Ethan Williams. Thank you for joining us. There's been another escalation in Canada's ongoing trade disputes, this time with China. The Chinese government is expanding what canola products it's slapping tariffs on. Just the latest development in an ongoing tariff war over canola and electric vehicles. And as Alexander Kwan reports, this latest news is hitting close to home for canola producers in Saskatchewan.
As producers, we feel like we're caught in the middle of a trade war that we neither wanted or started or have any influence on.
Canola farmers in Saskatchewan are feeling the heat after China announced Tuesday that it will implement a 75.8% duty on Canadian canola products. That new policy is set to go into effect Thursday. China is one of the biggest markets for Canadian canola products, but it is now effectively closed to producers. The announcement on Tuesday immediately dropped the price for the crop, which is bad news for canola farmers across Canada, with harvest set to begin soon.
Some producers are going to be forced to sell their canola and likely selling it at a loss at the prices that we're likely to see in the near future.
The duty is just the latest act of retaliation from the Chinese government after Canada imposed a 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles last year. The Chinese government had only tariffed canola oil and meal, but this escalation means there's now a tariff on all canola goods. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe says producers are going to be hurt. Moe called on Ottawa to lift the EV tariff and immediately meet with Chinese officials.
Our federal government cannot sacrifice a $43 billion canola industry, 200,000 jobs in that industry, that is largely based, in fairness, in Western Canada, to protect a fledgling electric vehicle industry, largely based in Eastern Canada.
The National Farmers Union believes this is not necessarily a reason to panic. Sales of canola don't normally begin until October, and this latest announcement is a negotiation tactic.
The politics are extremely complex and unpredictable. I think uncertainty is the only thing that is certain now.
Ottawa has yet to provide details on its response, but as politicians seek a political resolution, producers say financial assistance may not be enough. What they need now is for the Chinese market to be reopened. Alexander Kwan, CBC News, Regina.
Meanwhile, Ottawa is injecting money into several agriculture companies and the University of Saskatchewan. The federal government on Tuesday announced $4.2 million in total funding. $1.6 million is going to the U of S Global Institute for Food Security. It's developing an accelerated breeding program for crops and livestock using genomic selection. The funding comes from Prairie Economic Development Canada.
We need to reconsider our vision of Canada and Saskatchewan's role in the world and the value that we bring to it. And so in these changing times, we need to embrace new ideas and adaptability and innovation and resilience.
The rest of the money will be going to agriculture companies. They are working on automating grain bin manufacturing, expanding food processing operations, and marketing value-added agriculture. A Saskatoon couple say they're frustrated with the provincial government. They live in a northern Saskatchewan community that was devastated by a wildfire earlier this year. And they're particularly frustrated with Premier Scott Moe for having yet to visit their community, all while Moe makes appearances at other events up north. Jeremy Warren has that story.
We're all sitting there in the ash with no answers.
Dustin Trumbley and Joanne Churchill want Premier Scott Moe to visit Denair Beach. It's been 2.5 months since wildfire destroyed their home and about 300 others in the northern village. They expected the Premier to visit by now. At a Saskatchewan NDP event on Monday, Trumbley and his neighbors asked why Moe can attend a golf fundraiser in northern Saskatchewan on Tuesday, but not visit communities devastated by wildfire.
He's hiding from us, and I get it. I wouldn't want to face the questions he's going to face, but when you're a leader, you got to step up, you got to man up. It's just part of your job, good with the bad. So we need some accountability to know this isn't going to happen next year.
Premier Moe says he was just in Beauval and La Loche on Monday to meet with local leaders and pointed to the $20 million his government set aside for rebuilding communities. He says cabinet ministers like Public Safety Minister Tim McLeod have visited Denair Beach.
That the people of Denair Beach, who have experienced such a tragic loss, many of them, can be confident in the voice that he is bringing to the table of the cabinet and the caucus of the government of Saskatchewan in supporting their community.
Tremblay says he voted for the Sask party in last year's provincial election, but he's regretting his choice.
Do I have to be a billionaire and live at Candle Lake to get any sort of credibility? And I live in the north. I mean, that's my home. I was born and raised there. I love it there. And I should matter just as much as everybody else. Everybody there should matter.
Tremblay and Churchill were supposed to get married this month. Instead of planning a wedding, they're planning how to rebuild their home and hoping the province does a better job planning for the next fire season. Jeremy Warren, CBC News, Saskatoon.
The RCMP is working to boost security at the Canada-US border. It's introducing a drone corridor aimed at patrolling the border along our province, as well as Alberta and Manitoba. The RCMP say the corridor extends from the ground to 500 feet in the air and 1 nautical mile north of the border, or just under 2 kilometers. The RCMP has been increasing its presence at the border with drones, helicopters, and more. It's part of the federal government's pledge to improve security in an attempt to stave off tariffs from U.S. President Donald Trump. The University of Saskatchewan has announced its new president and vice chancellor. Vince Brunibasio has been selected to take on the roles at the university. Brunibasio is a longtime Edwards School of Business professor and former interim provost. He spent time teaching management and marketing, with his research focused on the cross-section of strategy and governance in multiple forms of business.
That a large part of our future success will derive from our connection with local communities right here in Saskatchewan. When we think about our connection to community, we understand that our mission of being the university the world needs must now prioritize being the university that Saskatchewan needs. Fortunately, as Premier Scott Moe indicated, we have a strong relationship with our province. The University of Saskatchewan is the lens by which the world sees Saskatchewan.
Moe did attend the event Tuesday morning and said that he looked forward to celebrating Brunabasio's career success in the near future. Brunibasio replaces outgoing President and Vice Chancellor Peter Stoichev, who spent nearly a decade in the position. WestJet says personal data was stolen in a cyber attack earlier this year. That includes information about travel documents. The stolen data may include names, dates of birth, email and mailing addresses, phone numbers, and even recent travel booking history. But there is a silver lining. The company says credit and debit card numbers are safe. The airline is offering affected customers 2 years of free identity theft and monitoring services. Canada's privacy watchdog has launched an investigation into the cybersecurity breach at the airline. And a union representing Air Canada flight attendants is still at odds with the airline, meaning 10,000 workers could walk off the job this weekend. The Canadian Union of Public Employees says it declined to hold negotiations with the airline through arbitration. If a mediator was agreed upon, a lockout or strike would have been averted. Now it could begin on Saturday just after midnight. The union is calling for higher wages for flight attendants. Work is well underway at Saskatoon's Harry Bailey Aquatic Centre. The city's latest update says work is over 60% complete. Work is being done on just about every aspect of the building. Demolition of the main competition pool is now complete, and the final concrete pour is being done. Mechanical systems and piping are now being put in underneath the building, and drywalling, tiling, and floor and ceiling work is happening in the change room and admin areas. The pool has been closed since April 2023. Construction was at first delayed after the initial tender for the project came in way over budget.
in a winter city like ours, having these indoor amenities are certainly a huge loss when they do need to be renovated like they are. It's unfortunate this required an extra year to get completed, but the work is underway and we are doing everything we can to finish as soon as possible.
And renovations are expected to wrap up by next spring, but the pool won't officially reopen to the public until September 2026. Well, with all the rain that we have had this last little while, it's been a little bit tough to actually get out on the lake and go for a boat ride. But Tuesday was a gorgeous day for one, but don't start thinking we're out of the woods just yet. Wednesday could bring some pretty severe weather for some of us, and those drenching rains are likely making a comeback for others. Weather specialist Helena Mahalik will have all the details in her forecast when we return. Welcome back. Well, it was a jewel of a weekend on the diamond for a 48-year-old former art teacher from New Jersey. Jen Powell broke the gender barrier in Major League Baseball, becoming the first female umpire to officiate a regular season game. And as Philip Lee Shannock tells us, Powell's performance behind the plate blazes a whole new trail for women in sport.
Joey Witts is ready. We hope you're ready. And here we go.
And with that, Jen Powell makes history, becoming the first female umpire in Major League Baseball to make a call at home plate. The ball likely headed to the Baseball Hall of Fame, where the cap she wore in her umpiring debut Saturday will also be on display. That's when Powell smashed the MLB's gender barrier as the first female umpire to work a regular season game, officiating at first base.
It was pretty amazing when we took the field. Just incredible. Like, dream came true. Like, the dream actually came true.
The crowd at Sunday's series final celebrated another piece of sports history in the making, as did the players, many of whom recall Powell's work umpiring AAA games and during spring training.
Can't imagine how hard it is for her to have come up, and everyone says it's probably told her it was impossible, but to be able to be part of that, and they made a big deal out of it, as it should be.
Powell says this has always been her goal from when she started as a high school umpire more than 30 years ago, continuously progressing up the ranks before getting the call from the MLB.
I always wanted to umpire. Like, I knew I had the bug. I had it in my DNA. And then making it a career, when I realized, wow, maybe I could be a major leaguer, then I just went for it.
Analysts say Powell is leading by example.
It's not like tomorrow there are going to be a whole bunch, but I would expect that at the umpire training schools that there'll be a spike in female participants.
Powell is expected to be in the MLB's regular umpiring crew rotation, and she also predicts there'll be less fuss and fanfare as more women and girls get into making the calls in all levels of pro ball, right up to the majors. Philip Lee Shannock, CBC News, Toronto.
And weather specialist Helena Mahalik is also on the baseball diamond for the big deciding Game 3 in the WCBL East Division Final between the Saskatoon Berries and the Regina Red Sox. Pretty exciting game ahead of us here, Helena.
Yes, it's very exciting, Ethan. Although the weather isn't technically on my side, there's a bit of a sprinkling here at the playoff game with the Saskatoon Berries versus Regina Red Sox. I'm joined with the coach of the Red Sox, Rai Pathankos. Well, how are you feeling, Rai? Because I know that in the playoffs, the home field advantage hasn't necessarily been a factor. So what do you think your odds are tonight as the away team?
Well, it always feels good to get on the road a little bit once in a while. The guys kind of bond on the bus on the way over here, and the little extra added pressure playing at home sometime gets to you a little bit, but we enjoy our fans back at Curry Field, but sometimes it's nice to get on the road as well.
Do you think a lot of people are going to be coming out from Regina to support you guys tonight?
Yeah, I know we have a good group coming out. Appreciate that, and look forward to seeing a little bit of red in the crowd here opposed to all purple.
What do you think your team's progress has been like this season?
Well, the last 3 weeks have been pretty really good baseball. We had a lot of changes throughout the year. We moved probably 12 to 14 players in and out. So in the last 3 weeks, everybody's gelled together and they're playing for each other. So we're having a lot of fun.
If you could send a message to your team tonight, what would that be?
Just relax, have fun, play you play better when you're having fun. So, let's execute, play some clean baseball, and have some fun.
And what about a message to the fans that have been following this season?
Back home, and we thank everybody, and great support here all throughout the WCBL here, in Saskatoon and also in Regina. It's been a lot of fun this year.
Well, good luck, Rye.
Thank you very much.
And yes, Ethan, the weather definitely is not on our side. It's okay here in Saskatoon, a little sprinkling of rain, but there is some severe weather activity in the province this evening. Let's take a look at what's going on in the province Tuesday night. We are seeing the chance of some tornado warnings in the northwest. This is especially true for Buffalo Narrows, Isle Lacrosse, and Beauval. This tornado warning is moving southeast at 30 kilometers an hour. We're also seeing the chance of some severe thunderstorms in the north. We're going to see some heavy rainfall there, as well as in west central Saskatchewan for areas along Kindersley up into Meadow Lake. We are also going to see the chance of this storm hitting areas like Saskatoon. Hopefully it's going to wait until the game is over, though, but we will see some thunderstorms throughout much of central Saskatchewan overnight. We're going to continue to see some storms this week, especially up north. Wednesday, we're going to see a system moving in from Alberta, and we're seeing a chance of some scattered showers in the eastern part of the south for areas around Yorkton. It's really Wednesday night that heaviest system comes in from Alberta, bringing very heavy rainfall to the north, and we're also seeing a chance of thunderstorms for areas along the northern grain belt close to Prince Albert. Friday, we're seeing all that rain kind of die down. The heaviest for the north was definitely Thursday, but we are still seeing the chance of some scattered storms up north and along the Alberta border for areas around Kindersley and Swift Current. Wednesday will be our most intense storm day in the province, and we are seeing some very severe risks, again, always along that Alberta border. So for areas around Kindersley up into Meadow Lake, we are seeing conditions of a supercell thunderstorm, which could produce a tornado. We're also seeing wind gusts over 100 kilometers an hour. Hail could reach very dangerous sizes of up to tennis ball size, and periods of very heavy rainfall. Areas from Saskatoon down into Wynyard could also see wind gusts over 100 kilometers an hour, hail up to golf ball size, and we're going to continue to see that heavy rainfall associated with these showers. And we are seeing that this system from Alberta is bringing very heavy rainfall to the north. Now, this model is on the heavy side, so we're not going to get quite this much rain, but many areas by Friday morning could get over 25 millimeters of rainfall, and on the heavy end could get up to 60 millimeters of rain, which is definitely needed, and this will provide some relief to air quality. Currently, we're still seeing some air quality warnings in effect along that Manitoba border from areas like Hudson Bay up into the south end. So Ethan, although I hope we don't get rained on tonight, it is good news to see some rainfall in the province.
Yes, and it looks like like you say, it'll be coming after the game, thankfully. Helena, thank you so much. Well, a wildfire burning near St. John's has prompted new evacuation alerts. Thousands of people in the city and on the outskirts are preparing to leave their homes and businesses. Premier John Hogan has offered words of support to them and to the others affected by wildfires in the province.
Us sitting up here can only imagine the stress and the situation people are in terms of being evacuated, waiting for evacuation, or being evacuated and having lost your homes. I want everybody to know that every region in this province is important.
Residents in parts of St. John's, Paradise, and Conception Bay South have been told to prepare to be away from their homes for at least 3 days. This new wildfire erupted Monday and quickly spread to 2 square kilometers. 5 of the 8 fires burning in Newfoundland and Labrador are deemed to be out of control. The biggest one in the province is near Kingston on the northwestern shore of Conception Bay. It covers more than 63 square kilometers. Some pretty wild dreams for Taylor Swift fans. It is a brand new era for Swifties. Swift has just announced her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl. She dropped the news in classic style at exactly 12:12 a.m. August 12th, but a noticeable difference in the rollout too. Swift made the announcement on her boyfriend Travis Kelce's podcast. There is no release date yet for the album, but fans can pre-order it on her website. Stay with us. We are back after the break. Saskatchewan picked up its first 2 medals at the Canada Summer Games Tuesday. Here's a recap of some of the highlights from Day 4 in St. John's.
With a new Canada Games record, 2-time record setter from Team Saskatchewan, Leo Zhang.
Regina's Leo Zhang captured Team Sask's first gold, winning the 100-meter backstroke para-swimming event. This is the 18-year-old's second games, having competed in Niagara in 2022. And Regina's Bear Robertson picked up a bronze medal in the men's 1,000-meter canoe kayak final, battling strong wind on Kitty Vitty Lake. The games are a family affair for Robertson. His mom coaches the canoe kayak team, and his dad officiates the event. A strong day on the basketball court for Team Sask. The women's team with a decisive 98-16 victory over Yukon. They are now 3-0, tied for first place. The men's team also beat Yukon 94-64. They improved to a 2-1 record, tied for second in their pool. And the Saskatchewan women's softball team also found success on the baseball diamond. They beat PEI 11-4. They're now in the middle of the standings with a 2-2 record. And Helena is back from Cairns Field to bat 1,000 for our forecast.
Yeah, Ethan, well, it's raining. It's starting to rain a little bit here in Saskatoon, and we do have some more rain in the forecast. Let's take a look at the forecast for the city of Regina. We are going to see a very warm conditions Wednesday, but very windy as well. We're going to see that wind continue throughout the end of our week. Thursday, though, we are seeing, despite the sun being out, temperatures really dipping down just above that 20-degree mark, and going to last that way into next week. Saturday, we do have a slight chance of some rainfall. Temperatures slowly beginning to warm up little by little, but they won't really warm up into next week, where we're finally going to be back a few degrees above seasonal. In Saskatoon, we do have that chance of thunderstorms Wednesday, but temperatures will still be quite warm. Thursday, though, we're really seeing temperatures dip down almost 5 degrees below seasonal, and our overnight lows will be in the single digits. We're going to see that continue until about Sunday, despite some rainfall, temperatures actually warming up back to above seasonal, and we're going to see those warm conditions and the rainfall end into next week, and we're seeing it no more rain and the sun will be out. But Ethan, I'm just enjoying being in my baseball era here in Saskatoon.
Yes, stay dry. Okay, thanks, Helena. That's our news for this Tuesday. You can visit our website or YouTube channel for more. Thanks so much for watching.